She said, no, not like that. For me, it's like that for a lot of other people. And I'm just putting my foot in my mouth all the time these days. But here's the thing. Marrying your best friend, no matter what gender, is the best. I think you guys are going to get married, is what I'm trying to say. I think what's going on is it's kind of a, after you, Alphonse. No, after you, Antoine. No, after you. Everybody is a little scared of making the first step because making the first commitment sort of word because, we're women, we want guys to chase us. We just do. We're built that way. Men, if you're listening, we want you to chase us. We don't want you to be aggressive or creepy about it, but we do want you to make the first move.
Can I give you a little bit of backstory?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both in it's weird because I don't know if you could pick up. We both are in the same situation, and it's always been like that. It always happens at like the same time. So he's living with the mother of his child, but they're not together. And I'm living with my ex-husband, the father of my child, but we're not together.
Who doesn't want to live with their ex? Yeah. I'm
right.
so sorry.
It's
They're
okay.
He's not with her either. Yeah. Go ahead.
And
so you're both, the thing is that you're both trying to start a new life together. Let me pull a card for you. Hold on. Okay. Card I got, the Judgment. I got 3 cards. I didn't mean to get 3 cards. The Judgment card means there's a lot of old stuff that has to be cleared away. You have to clean up your side of the street, basically. So you're going to have to figure out a way to ask your ex-husband politely but firmly to go find a place to live, because I think he's taking advantage of you. I don't think so. I know it.
No, he is. I know.
Yeah, he is. Do you have 2 kids? You?
I have 1.
Okay. He has a kid?
Can he what?
Okay, so I'm getting 2 kids in this relationship.
Well,
so I think you guys are going to wind up together. What you have to do is you're going to have to take a deep breath, and he's not in love with the woman he's living with, and he should be fair to her because she can start over again ASAP. She's not in love with him either. They're not intimate, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
They're not. They're just not intimate. And
is he in love with me?
Is the Judgment card, which is old, unresolved issues. And what you want to do is get this stuff resolved, fix it, and move forward, because the outcome card for you is the Lover's card. I don't know what's going on with this phone. And the Lover's card, when I get the Lover's card, it's a major arcana card. Major arcana cards are destiny cards. I don't usually believe in destiny, but when it comes to major arcana, I'm like, you know what? I bow to a greater wisdom. You guys are supposed to be together. Find a way to do it ethically and honorably, because you are both ethical and honorable people. One of the things that making you feel bad is you feel like you're sneaking around. Whether you are or not, that's not my business. And I care about you. I care about your happiness. But you're very honorable person, and so is he.
Yeah, I was upfront with my husband about it. He hasn't been upfront with the child of his mother, because he doesn't want to cause conflict. And he feels like if he tells her...
Well, you know what? Conflict is part of life. And conflict, You know how the internal combustion engine works? It's essentially, we can drive cars because the internal combustion engine runs on conflict. Conflict creates energy to move forward. And I forget how it works. I'll go Google internal combustion internal combustion. Oh gosh. Anyway, Google it. What I'm saying is that nobody can avoid conflict. Conflict is life. It's part of life. It's not all of life, thank God. But it's the conflict gives you the energy to move forward. And what he's saying is he's scared she's going to yell at him, and she's going to yell at him. Either way, he might as well get it over with. She's going to be mad at him. And if he's a coward, then that's not something you want in a guy. I think what he is somebody who's very rejection sensitive. I get that but you might as well tell him she's gonna be mad at him sooner or later. Life is short. You want to trust me on this. If you have a chance for happiness and you can do it honorably,
I'm very happy, and I feel comfortable.
Two close friends who are very young. You never know. Get your happiness now, and you guys are really, really good for each other. He has to get out of that relationship, and he has to do it cleanly. And you need to get your ex-husband out of there. He's sucking the life out of you. Sorry,
he is. No, he is. It's tiring being a mom and having to do everything by yourself, and he doesn't help me at all.
And you're not his mom. I'm going to cut this off because I think that you don't want to hear what I'm saying. And I think you are hearing it, though. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm usually much nicer to people. But you guys, John, I've been engaged to 2 people named John, not simultaneously. So, and I've been in everybody in the world has been in the situation you're in right now. You're in a dead relationship. There's something that's alive and beautiful and beckoning. You're trying to do it in a way that hurts as few people as possible. But hurt is part of life. Conflict is part of life. You might as well just pull the Band-Aid off and get it over with, because trust me, tomorrow is not promised. So let me know how you're doing. If you want to call back in a week or 2 and say, I got that sucker out of my basement or wherever your ex-husband's living. He also needs some consequences. People who are lifeblood suckers, he's not going to leave on his own. You have to give him, you have to set a boundary and kick him out. You have to kick him out, because he's going to wind up taking you for everything you have. Trust me. All right, my love, I'm going to do the psychic tarot weather. Let me know how things are going. You can reach me, Perry Lyons, PERILYONS, on Facebook. Use my personal account. Just write to me. Let me know how you are, okay?
All right, okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, love. And if it seemed like I was a little hard on that beautiful, lovely woman, it's because she's absolutely wonderful energy. And here's the thing. Love is not love that alters when it alteration finds, as Shakespeare says. But love is also not, I could not love thee half so much, love, do I not honor more. I think that's Shakespeare. It's somebody said that. And love with honor is very important, at least like these people we're talking about. They're very honorable people. And if you're doing something, if you have a gut feeling that you're doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong. Stop it. Do something else. And life is short. Don't stick around waiting for a situation to heal itself. It's not going to. You're just going to sink into the swamp, and then there'll be little bubbles and an alligator, and it's all over. So if you have a chance for love and happiness, do it honorably. I've been watching a lot of true crime, so do it honorably and try not to kill anybody. That's my advice. Okay, here's the psychic weather for the week. We're going to start with today's Wednesday. This is Wednesday through next Wednesday. Today's the beginning of the week. 3 cards. Oh, Elandria, what a beautiful name. I'll be with you in about 4 minutes. Okay, my love? I'm just going to do the psychic tarot weather, or the tarot psychic weather, or the weather psychic tarot. Anyway, here it is. So this is the beginning of the week, then we're doing the middle of the week, and then the end of the week is next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Beginning of the week is the Bat Spirit card. You're going through a rebirth of some kind. And here's the thing about birth. It's messy, it's painful, but it's worth it. So if you're going through a lot of uncomfortable emotions, a lot of times we identify ourselves with our limitations, right? It's like, oh, I'm a flake. That's just who I am. And suddenly you wake up one day, you don't want to be a flake anymore. And you're not. And you decide you don't act that way. But who are you? Now that people can't say, oh, that Jane, what a flake. What are they going to say about you? People, we think we're our limitations. We're so much more. This is a time of rebirth. It's a time astrologically. It's a time I can feel it. It's coming in the best possible way. And it's going to happen. So you might as well just get out in front of it and make the most of it. Because the middle of the week is the star card. You're going to be noticed whether you want to be or not. You don't have to be naked and dipping something in a lake. But hey, if that's your jam, that's your jam. The star card is you getting recognized for yourself. You know, when somebody walks into a room, in Buddhism, they say everybody has a taste. And what they mean is when somebody walks into a room, you can tell who they are. You know, we can all tell who people, we lie to ourselves, especially if they're extremely good looking or have an enormous amount of money. If they're both, we'll just start lying to ourselves and never stop. But enough about my life. Sorry, where were we? The star card is the middle of the week. And the star card is you're really going to be stepping into your power. And even if you don't know who you are, make up somebody you like to be. That's my advice. And it's good advice. The last card, very interesting. This is from Emily Carding's Transparent Tarot deck, which is the best tarot deck, but it's very hard to use on air. I usually use it with a white backdrop. This is sort of messy, but I'm going to do it that way. Can you see? And this is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries woman, or somebody who acts like that. She might have, like me, a Leo sun. But so this is probably, if you're a woman or a man or or non-binary or gender fluid. This is asking you to call upon your fiery female energy. If you're a man, you can be straight and call upon female energy. I've called upon male energy in my life to get stuff done, quote, male, unquote. There's also probably an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo woman around you who's going to be great help. I happen to have a ton of great Aries women friends. Shout out to my friend Jennifer in Mexico. So I think there's probably an Aries woman is going to be a great advisor to you, or if you need a little energy, be your most fiery self and take some big risks this week. There we go. Okay. And is my darling Goff, Georgia woman still there? How much time do we have? Oh, darling, I'm so glad you waited. Thank you so much. Tell me your birthday. That's how I connect to people.
September 20th, 2002.
I'm sorry. I heard something 20. Say the month again. Oh, 12,
September.
20. Look at you with your twos. Damn, girl. Okay. September 22nd. September 22nd.
No,
my producer was wrong.
September the 20th.
He's never said that before, but he's very handsome, so we'll let this go. So September 20th. Oh, that's a great day. I have so many friends with that day. Not 2022. That would make you 2 years old and you'd be talking a little differently. So how can I help you, my darling? Well, let me actually tell you how I can help you, because you've got a bunch of stuff in your mind. You're at a big crossroads. Okay, ask me a question.
I have been dealing with this guy, so I'm just trying to really figure out, like, is this someone that I'm supposed to be with or not? Because I have a strong love for him, but I'm not sure if I should be putting that time and energy into a person that I'm just not sure about. And I felt like when I started dealing with this person, I started to grow. And then I also just came into like this big old crossroad in my life. So I'm just kind of confused.
Let me tell you what I'm getting about this. There's a phrase I use with my clients when somebody is really awesome, but they're not the person. I call them driftwood, because they're a sign that the person for you is on his, her, or other way. Is on their way. Here's why I call it driftwood. Back then, we'll say 18th century, which is the 1700s, sailors they didn't have like fancy navigational tools. They had kind of like, well, where's the land? Where's the land? It was here a minute ago. So they'd be heading towards the land, but they didn't have exact instruments. So they would know when they were getting towards the land that they were heading towards, that they wanted to go to the land, because there was driftwood in the ocean. So they could see driftwood, although they couldn't see the land yet. So I think this guy, I'm getting the feeling that he's got something else going on that he's not telling you about. Sorry, that's what I'm getting. I'm very blunt. Okay. And you deserve better than that. I think what you're feeling is that there's a kind of adult intimacy that you have with this person. You guys laugh over the same stuff. You have really nice conversations. He's very smart, but I don't think he's done fooling around yet. And I don't think that's for you. I think the person after this, who has many of the same qualities, but is more stable and is really into you. You want somebody who's not just into you, but is like chasing you around the dining room table saying, come here, you pretty thing. And I'm not just saying in general, although I certainly want that. I even bought a new dining room table for that express purpose. But I am saying that for you specifically, it's good for you to have somebody who's not shy about showing you how he feels. And I don't think he's showing you enough.
Yeah,
I think that he's got strong feelings for you, but I don't want you to take that as my saying, therefore, you're going to be together. I don't think you are. I don't think there's a lasting thing here. I think the person after this is a lasting thing. And I think what's happened is you've really grown into your most beautiful and best self. And this guy, the feelings you have with this guy are your feelings of, I think what you're seeing is you're seeing aspects of this new self that you are, this beautiful self, reflected back to you in him. And it's almost like you're falling in love with this new self of yours through him. I don't think he has some of the qualities that you're projecting onto him. I think these are qualities that you have. And I think that if you ask yourself what you, I don't know, I'm sitting getting flushed talking about this. I think that if you ask yourself, what are the qualities I like in this guy? And you would say, he's smart, he's a great listener, he's tremendous fun. Those are qualities that you actually have. I just don't feel he's that available. But I do think that your person is coming up over the holidays. Is it okay that I say that?
Yes.
I'm so glad you called. Let me know what happens. My name is Perry Lyons, Perilyons. You can find me. I have a different website than is up here. You can find me at perrylyons.com. And once again, that's P as in pneumonia, ERILYONS.com. So somebody asked me what mediumship is like. They asked me if I wanted to be a medium when I was little. No, I wanted to be an actor, singer, and oceanographer. And what do you call them? People dig things up. Archaeologist. I want to be an archaeologist when I was little. A singing archaeologist. I found some bones. Like that. But I'm not. 12 years ago, I had a piano fall on my head, and it changed my life, as having a piano fall on your head, falling on your head often does. Usually it ends your life. So I was very lucky that way. But what it did was ruined my life at the time. I was engaged to this gorgeous celebrity. I had fantastic, like glamorous best friend. Everybody vanished because I couldn't remember things. I had to relearn like almost how to talk. My family, except for my brother David, kind of abandoned me. And it was a really hard thing. But when I sort of came out of the days, I was a lot more psychic than I'd ever been. And I'd always been psychic. I come from a psychic family. I mean, they're not professional psychics. Mom was a history professor and Dad was an internist. But since then, I have had the ability to, it's not that hard. I think everybody can do it. I've had the ability to, if somebody calls and says, I hope you don't ever have a cause to say this, but this person I love passed, can you get in touch with them? And usually that person appears in front of me. And it's almost what it looks like is like a slide projected onto like running water. It's kind of weird, but also the taste of their personality comes across. And I also see them at the age they were when they passed, and usually the age that they think they were the cutest at, which is usually 25 to 30. So when a friend of mine's father passed, she asked me to get in touch with him. He first came across as a 90-year-old lovely gent he was. And then he showed up as he was when he was like 27. I was like, whoa, I want to date this guy. That's weird. He's my friend's father. Also, he's dead. Anyway, what can I say? I like him unattainable. So if you feel, here's what I want to say. If you feel you have a talent in this direction, do not use Ouija boards. Just don't. We tried when my brothers were kids. We tried, we did Ouija board stuff. Next thing we knew, the house was filled with ghosts. I'm not kidding. You don't want ghosts. They sound like fun. Watch true ghost videos on YouTube. Go watch like Nuke's Top 5. He's great. But don't invite ghosts in your house. Also, there are such things. I can't believe I'm going to say this outside of my head, but I found there are such things as demons. One of my closest mentors before he passed was the brilliant genius William Peter Blatty, who wrote The Exorcist. And he and I used to have long philosophical talks about the existence of evil, and he was a devout Catholic and a fantastic man. Anyway, evil exists. Don't invite it in. Don't use Ouija boards. And I'll see you next week. I'm Perry Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic. You are my cherished ducklings, and I love you. I do. That color looks great on you. Bye. Bye.
to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Energy Reader Mariana with Mariana. Live from SoulCircle.vip.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Energy Reader Mariana
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, how are you guys? So this is my first show, which I'm sure is painfully obvious. My name is Mariana. I am coming to you from Colorado Springs, Colorado area. That is obviously in the, well, maybe not obviously, but that is in the United States. Again, my first show. I wanted to come to you tonight from my barn with my colt and my mare, but unfortunately, lack of sleep, lack of preparation, and lack of time has brought me to my standard chair. Oh, okay, sorry. There's little prompts on there. My bad. Again, first night. Again, Mariana, I am the energy reader. And what is an energy reader? It is a psychic, an evidential medium, an evidential communicator, animal communicator, and an evidential non-verbal communicator rolled into one. So what is a non-verbal communicator? I do talk to people with dementia, comas, autism, etc. to facilitate conversations between their caregivers and or parents and the person who is nonverbal. In that realm, if you will, is animal communication, which is what this show, if you will be about. So I started business about 4 years ago. I've been doing this for about 7 years. I do have a graduate education, and I still do have my 9-to-5 job. So that is interesting and a little bit different than some people, but it's a good income. And so that's hard to replace. Feast or famine, right? So again, I did want to come to you from the barn, but tonight that was not going to work out. So one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight for animal communication is to get an animal communicator with animals. And I know that sounds silly, but I have a mare. It's called a maiden mare who gave birth a month early. And so I do have a colt down at the barn. His name is Big John, which is supposed to be ironic because he's actually Little John. And I also have 8 dogs altogether, 5 birds, 4 horses, and a crazy vet bill that I can't pay trying to save Big John. So if anyone is interested in the GoFundMe, let me know. A little bit of sarcasm, hyperbole, but also true. All right, so let's talk about animal communication. And I will start taking calls next week in which you can come to me with your animal. I ask for an animal's name and breed and whether or not they are alive or past. So one of the reasons I ask for alive or past is because they feel very much the same, whether they're alive or whether they're past. They're very often happy and content. And yes, even abused animals can feel happy and content because especially if that's what they know. So there's some finer lines within there, but let's keep going. This is a little different for me, so I do apologize if I seem a little disjointed. I want to talk about why someone would want to contact an animal communicator. Why would you even want an animal communicator at all? One is the transitions in your life. So that could be that you're bringing another human into your family, birth, or it could be that someone is leaving your family, death. That could also be the animal itself. If the animal itself is moving into a transitionary period, you may want to have an animal communication with that animal to say, what would you like as your last days? What would you like us to attempt to do in honor of you or because of you? Or do you want us to spend a lot of money at the vet, or do you not want us to? Would you like to kind of pass away peacefully at home, if you will? Another thing someone might come to an animal communicator for are behavioral problems. I say quite often that we do not replace animal training and we do not replace veterinary care. However, if you've kind of come to your last leg with certain issues or situations, behavioral problems and or health problems, an animal communicator can often assist, with the caveat that we are, of course, not vets or trainers. New pets. If you have new pets coming into your home, and I apologize, I'm covered in dog hair, so I'm doing the best I can here, but my nose does itch. New pets coming into your home. What does that look like for your pet? What does that look like for the household? What does that look like for the new pet, frankly, especially if it's a rescue? Food issues. You might contact an animal communicator over food issues. Has your animal stopped eating? Is your animal suddenly picky when they didn't used to be picky, or not picky at all, and they just are inhaling food at an alarming rate? All right. What about when the animal doesn't know what's wrong? That's a weird one, and that one can be a little bit perplexing, right? Because then the animal communicator comes in, and you have to kind of have a place to start, in my opinion, for the animal communicator. Like, let's start at this place. Can you tell me what happened? Can you tell me what my animal is thinking, etc.? Now, having said all of that, I am an evidential animal communicator. So I come in and I give you evidence about who I'm talking to so that you know that I'm talking to the animal that I say I'm talking to, so that I'm not blowing smoke up the old nether regions. When I come in and give evidence, it could be favorite toys, it could be favorite people, it could be personality traits, it could be mannerisms. It's a lot like evidential mediumship, which brings up another thing. By the way, I'm a little ADHD, but it brings up another thing is that I do alive animals and I do passed over animals. So if you are missing a particular animal that was in your life and you would like to know certain things or have a last conversation or another conversation, because we're all a little bit telepathic, aren't we? If you would like that, that is where the evidential animal mediumship comes into play. All right, and I apologize, I have breathing issues, and I am at 6,500 feet above sea level, something along those lines. All right. What happens when the animal doesn't know what's wrong? That's when we really kind of get into it, and that might take more than one session. Unfortunately, there are a lot of animal communicators that charge a pretty penny. And so one of the things I don't charge extra for is talking to multiple animals in the same visit. Another thing I don't charge extra for is having someone else in our visit. I also teach it. Again, I'm going off script a little bit. You can see I have my little script, if you will. I do teach it. And so what does teaching it mean? It means July 31st, I'll be starting with an instruction night, and then we'll have circle night. Circle night is where the gold is. That's where you learn how to talk to animals. So we have an instruction night with handouts, book recommendations, journal prompts, and then we have circle night, which is where you talk to my animals and other students' animals as well. That is starting July 31st. That will be a Monday night instruction night. And if I recall correctly, I'm extremely tired, a Wednesday night circle night or Thursday. And I apologize. I think it's Wednesday. And that's where you really get your confidence and where you learn how to animal communicate. Because it's wonderful if you can come to me, but what if you can just do it for yourself? All right, let's keep going. Again, next week, I will hopefully have a caller so I can exhibit my animal communication. But if you would like to see exhibitions before then, you can go to YouTube. It's at Energy Reader Marianna, Maryanna. On TikTok, it's at Marianna_energy_reader. And my website is www.circle.vip. When the animal doesn't know what's wrong, it takes sometimes more than one visit. It takes sometimes a few questions. It's kind of an investigation almost. So if you don't know what's wrong and the animal doesn't know what's wrong and the vet doesn't know what's wrong and the animal trainer doesn't know what's wrong, come see me. We'll see what we can do. All right. Unfortunately, people are often the problem. So I do have to often tell owners, hey, listen, it turns out that your vaping is annoying their nostrils and their esophagus and the lungs, right? So there are things that I end up telling pet owners that sometimes aren't always what they want to hear. But if it's the truth, then you can bet that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you really nicely, but that's what I'm going to tell you. Another problem can be codependency. Unfortunately, we get so attached to our animals today that we treat them like children, but they are still animals. And because they're still animals and not actual humans, they need boundaries and they need consistency and they need you to be the alpha and they need you to be in charge. And they also need you to know what you're asking from them. I know that sounds super simple, but have you ever met a person who said they called for a dog, let's say, right? And they were like, Pebbles. Pebbles finally comes to them and they're like, you stupid dog, why did you run away? Well, the dog has just come back to you and the dog is now utterly confused because you're sitting there saying, Pebbles, right, Stella? The dog comes back to you. Bam. Now they're in trouble. Why would they come back to you again? All right, so let me wrap this up. Rehoming, relocating, bringing new pets into the home, animal mediumship, closure, questions answered, reincarnation, preparations, intentions, being the alpha, anxiety, and I believe that's it. So if you have a question, I believe there is a link in the bio. And we will talk on this channel, though, about behavioral problems, transitions. That could be birth, that could be death, that could be new pets, that could be food issues, that can be when the animal doesn't know what's wrong. People are often the problem, unfortunately. Codependency, relocating, rehoming, animal mediumship, and more, reincarnation. So go ahead and send me an email if you're interested in being a caller on the show for an animal communication.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Medicine for Your Spirit
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Namaste, everybody. It's Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. Here we are on this beautiful new moon in September, new moon in Virgo. So just a very quick update because there's a lot going on. Energetically, I mentioned last month that we were having a really big steam clean for all of ourselves energetically, which means that a lot of the old dross, the old stuff that's been very impacted and pushed down very deep within our awareness, our psyche, our subconscious, was being loosened up and brought to the surface. And so the first couple of weeks of this month, it has been very murky and muddy, very unclear. So it's starting to settle with this new moon. So there's a lot more energy that will start bubbling up through us in the next day or two. We also have this, that little problem or that little thorn in our sides that we have, a few times a year, the Mercury retrograde. Well, it's going direct. So now things will start to move again. We'll start to feel more energized and a bit clearer. There are going to be a couple more earth burps, I call them, between the end of this month and next month. And we've just had the, horrific earthquake over in Morocco, and we've had the flood in Libya. So I feel like there's another one to come yet. The earth is, showing us a lot of chaos, which is what's in all of us. So we've got to steady ourselves. So what I wanted to mention today on this new moon, everyone likes to set new intentions. And what I've found in the last 12, 18 months working with my clients is a lot of people come to me and say, I've set an intention. I've set these intentions, but nothing's working. Nothing's working. There's no change. So we go back in and we go, okay, what state were you in when you set your intention? Were you in fear, desperation, worry, stress, reactive? Often we will set intentions because we want something magical to happen in our life. So there's potency and real power when we set an intention from a very calm, heart-connected, grounded self. So I suggest, especially between now and the end of the year, when it comes to new moons or setting intentions, because really you can set them anytime. You don't have to wait for a moon to be a certain way. You can set them anytime. But there seems to be, rituals around this, new moon, full moon. So if you can, spend a little bit of time preparing. Get yourself into a beautiful, relaxed heart state before you set your intentions. You will have way more clarity and it'll be way more potent. So one of the things I like doing is the alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. It's a very beautiful process because it calms the mind. It really calms the brain, the hemispheres of the brain, calms your nervous system, and it brings you into a point of, here I am. And then you can make your intentions from there or sit for a moment. What is the most important thing for me moving forward? What is the next best thing for me? What is that I am willing to do? What actions am I willing to do to create change so I can have something different or better or move towards something that I would love to experience in my life? Coming from a very grounded, heart-centered place, you will have beautiful, powerful intentions. And once you've set your intention, once you've written it out, I like to write them out, you can fold them up. And if anyone's heard me before, I like to light a candle and stick the intention under the candle and light it each day for that next week. Or you can go and plant them. Plant them in your garden or plant them in a pot plant. That's a really nice thing to do too, because you want to plant the seed of intention. You want that energy to grow. So just be mindful and present on this new moon. It is a powerful moon to set some intentions between now and the end of the year. And next week we do have the equinox coming, the beautiful, in the Northern Hemisphere, the autumn equinox, Southern Hemisphere, the spring equinox. So it's always a point of harmony and balance. Our Earth has a 365-day dance around the sun. And there are only 2 days in that whole 365 days that are dedicated to balance or harmony. And they're the equinoxes. So we've got one coming up. So it'd be really nice to do something special then to celebrate your achievements, your growth, where you've come from, where you're going. So keep that in mind for that time. I do have a caller on the line. Her name is Amanda, and she's from Texas. Hi, Amanda. How can I help or be support or offer guidance for you?
Hello. Hi, thank you for having me.
Nice to hear your voice.
Thank you so much. Yes, I've been waiting to have the time for the reading, so I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time tonight.
You're welcome. So what's your question or your concern, or how can I help? I'll see what I can do. I can only do the best I can do.
Yes, I'm just really excited, okay, because we're having a gender reveal this weekend. But I kind of already feel I know what it is. And I'm getting a second grandchild soon in February. So I've already had one reading about it in the past before before it came into existence. But I'm just wondering if we're right. And what do you see for my next grandchild?
Okay, so you're a little bit muffled, but what I'm hearing you say is you've got another grandchild coming?
Yes.
And you're wondering what it is?
Yes.
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations. Grandchildren are the best medicine ever on the planet. I have 4 earthside and 1 upstairs, and they're the best fun ever. What I'm going to say is I don't like doing prophetic stuff purely because you can plant seeds of restriction or limitations. What I will say is this beautiful baby coming through, if you've got a feeling of what it is, go with your own feeling, trust your own feeling. But also underneath it, just remember that this little soul that's chosen your family, its parents, its grandparents, its siblings, its community, is a beautiful being of light. And it's going to bring a lot of joy and a lot of love and a lot of fun for everyone. And so whether it's a boy or whether it's a girl, really the important thing is that it is a being that is loved and honoured and celebrated, and allow that beautiful energy that they bring in to bless your lives and to bring that open your hearts, because that's what babies do. It doesn't matter whether they're boys or girls. They open our heart. And that's the best medicine they bring through. So I'm not going to say boy or girl because it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm going to love it either way.
Yeah. It's just, I know people like to plan ahead, but you know what? In these days, especially with all the cuckoo going on in the world, let's just stay with nice pastel neutral colours. Lemons and pale greens and white.
Yes.
If you're looking at planning. No, I think congratulations anyway. It's always such a beautiful event when children come through, babies come through. So yes, I don't know I know it's a question, I get that, but I just feel it's irrelevant what gender they come in as. It's the light body that they are. And I will say there's lots of very, very powerful, beautiful souls.
Did you possibly receive a name? Any what the baby's name may be?
No. Look, I don't like doing that. I'll be really clear with you, Amanda. I don't like doing that type of stuff. Got to learn and where your soul is basically taking you. It really helps narrow down the confusion that we have around what am I meant to be doing, where am I meant to be going, what's supposed to be happening, why does this thing keep happening? We start to see where the patterns are. And then there's beautiful ways of navigating through that. It takes a lot of the confusion out. It is something that I do offer. If anyone is interested, drop me a line or send me an email. I'm happy to throw it your way so you can have a look at it. And if you want to know more, you can contact me where I'm at on my website, rayleneburn.com. So finishing off today, I always love to remind people that the greatest medicine available to us is ourself. The medicine, we are our own medicine. Wherever we are in the world, there is medicine in our environment waiting for us. Sunshine, air, trees, plants, colours. We need to start seeing the medicine around us. You are the medicine for your spirit. This is Raylene Burns signing off. Enjoy this new moon, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Evenings with Kimberly, the comedian medium. Live from KimberlyWagonMakers.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Evenings with Kimberly
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Wagon Makers at AR1 Radio. And I will be here again next Thursday. I want to start with, so that if by any chance we get cut off with the caller and I don't complete, I don't like that. It makes me feel really bad. So, because there's minutes, my phone number 760-519-5519. You can text. I answer all the time, and or call unless I'm unavailable. And my website is just like my name, www.kimberlywagonmakers. And hopefully it's in the show title. So the spelling, because it's kind of hard for people. But that's how you can find me when I'm not here, or on TikTok, Kim the Shaman, or my Facebook business page, Rescue and Restore Balance, my name. So I wanted to start with that because I never seem to have enough time. And I need to figure out how, okay, I got to get this chat bar up. I don't want to miss anybody. I have a wee bit of a headache today, but I came because I need to start just going no matter what. So if anybody needs psychic, I prefer psychic today. But if it's an urgent mediumship, then it's the spirit's going to, as I say, push their way forward. You know, when there's really emergency situations, they'll even hunt me down and come to my door, bringing food from, DoorDash, or, it's just amazing. I can't even explain. But when they need it, they definitely, I always say, they are more powerful than, and need it more than the sitter, because they see their loved one crying, feeling sad, and they want to come through and say, hey, I'm really here next to you all the time. You don't have to be sad. I'm here. And so, I feel like the spirit is always needs it more, and they're way smarter than us humans. They blow my mind what they do. Last night, I always believe in the little critters and I save them all. And last night there was the most, at 2 a.m, I kept hearing this banging, and I thought one of my cats was doing something. But I realized my phone's going crazy. I don't know if it's something urgent. So I finally looked out, and this dragonfly is just banging on my door. Beautiful. Huge, probably the biggest one. I see I have a caller though. Let's see. It says Beth in can't pronounce Lowell. Hi, Beth. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I woke up with a headache, and I've had it all day. It's probably part of menopause. So
maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty.
I hope not.
Well, menopause is one of those things that we go through, unfortunately. But how are you today, Beth?
I am very well. I'm excited to be speaking with you.
Oh, have you heard about me at all or been on any of my
Oh
sites?
yeah, I've been kind of following you for on Facebook for like a bit.
Oh, I'm
Like I
surprised
read
that
the posts every now and then, and I once got connected to somebody, but she wasn't. It wasn't you.
oh, finally I can see my face. Ooh. I'm sorry. I just saw my face and in front of me. I'm like, okay, what's that? So Beth,
Yeah.
how can I help you, sweetheart?
Oh well. I was just kind of wondering a few things. Like a major thing coming up is something to do with my daughter and visits and things like that. So, and I was wondering about my relationship with her and how she's feeling, and if things are going to go well for me. I have to go to court, and I don't like going, and it doesn't always work in my favor, even though it's mostly unfair, and there have been some things that aren't good. And then I was kind of wondering a little bit about my job, and then of course my love life. And I don't know why I like the last couple of boyfriends I've had, or love interest or whatever, they just haven't gone anywhere. And I usually, most of my life, I really have never had like a hard, hard time with it, or had to deal with somebody, rejecting me. And I know that I not very well with the whole thing. And then I'm wondering how my mother and my father are up there in heaven. And just wondering. I'm wondering what you might be able to help me, figure out or tell
So
me.
it's a lot, and I'm trying to because that
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
it was like 10. No, it's okay, it's okay. That's why I say we don't usually have enough time, because I like to start with one. Like, it sounds like you were asking first about relationships with your daughter, and am I hearing
Yeah.
correctly? And a big event is coming up with her, a wedding or
Yeah.
something?
No, I have to go to. We used to have visits, and her father made some mistakes, and now, the place where we go to have the visits doesn't want us there, and so now we have to go to court and find a new place, and you know, uh, he's done some things that are in violation, and so I'm just trying to see how that, might pan out. And, ultimately I would love to have my daughter come and stay with me, but I don't know how realistic that is, but I was just wondering if
Is she
maybe,
very young? Is she young? I feel like she's younger than a teenager.
well, she's 15.
Okay. So yeah, I was thinking in my head under 16, so that's under a teenager. So
Okay.
um I feel like, so Beth, I never BS. I never BS. And we are all over, and I don't even know how much time we'll have. I'm going to
Okay,
start
that's
with,
fine, but you can tell me whatever I have to hear. I can
and you
handle it.
can call me back after, and I'll for free continue if you'd like. I did say my number in the very beginning.
Okay.
Because this is a lot, and I don't want to hash it up, but I'm going to start with, I feel like Spirit right away told me, because you also mentioned relationships, and basically they've all been unhealthy, wrong. So
Yeah.
I feel like Spirit is telling me, number one, before we address sister or family, daughter, men, work, I feel like you need to do some inner work. I feel like you need to address, and I don't like the word counseling, but I feel like if you got out and got into some sort of healthy activity that you really enjoyed, because you need to do, everybody overuses the word meditation, and meditation, I don't sit and cross my legs and meditate. I find it very boring. I meditate. My meditation comes organically when I'm cleaning the house, just vacuuming. I'm like in a silent mood, and I'm just like with spirit, and I'm talking to myself, and I'm getting answers. So for me, meditating is gardening. It's in the yard when I'm watering at 1 a.m. and no one's around. So I have that peace and serenity. Cleaning. I need you to start, you need to look within, because why are all these bad things happening? This is the shadow side of you, and it needs addressing. Once you address and realize, the changes we need to make, and I'm still making my own changes. Trust me, it's not an easy thing. But once you make those changes, you're able to draw in what you really want and need. And that includes the right man, that includes the right job, that includes unbelievable happiness with your daughter, your family. But if you haven't made those changes organically within yourself, they won't see it. Nobody will see it. And life will continue this way. So, let me look. Okay, I've got 60 seconds. I knew this was going to happen. But you have my phone number, right? 760-519-5519. I'm supposed to go live Facebook after, but if you call, I'll continue this, because I feel like I feel like you have a lot of stuff, and it's nothing that can't be fixed. It's never too late until we're dead. And that's when, unfortunately, if we hadn't fixed all this going through the bloodlines, it continues, and we have to come back and fix it again.
Hello, good evening. Hi, how are you? My name is Wendy McCallum. I am a psychic medium from the UK, and this is A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I am so excited about tonight, really, really excited, and I'm sorry I wasn't here last week. So you probably are aware that I was quite poorly, so I was critically ill and I nearly died, and that's kind of what goes on, is that I really suffer with my health. I suffer with pain and fatigue since I've been critically ill. Now, they don't know why I'm still alive, but I do, you see, because I found sound healing when I was in intensive care and my organs were shutting down and stopping working. I found sound, and I listened to solfeggio frequencies whilst I was incapacitated, shall we say. And I believe that that is what stimulated my organs. I brought my organs back into balance, and that as well as the lovely distant healing that I was being sent from all the lovely people round about the world, and all the crystal healing I was being sent. So I'm a firm believer in distant healing, crystal grids, and most definitely sound therapy. So the other week I took myself off on a sound therapy workshop, and it was angelic crystal sound healing. And that's basically bringing in the angelic realms, working with crystals and working with sound. So what is sound? What is sound frequency? Well, solfeggio frequencies is 9 tones, and it's derived from numerology, and it's been around for thousands of years. It's believed to create positive shift in anybody or anything that is in close proximity. So that includes your lovely animals as well. So the specific tones. So everything in your body is frequency. We are frequency. So your heart has a frequency, your lungs has a frequency, your brains, your blood, your adrenals, and so forth. Everything is frequency. And these lovely tones or sounds or different frequencies correlate to different parts of the body. Therefore, I believe stimulating them in order to bring them back into balance. So with the solfeggio frequency, there's 9 tones, but as you're probably aware, there's so many different frequencies. I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. So I brought my lovely crystal singing bowls in. Let me find something. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I've got to show you this lovely, 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 lovely thing. This is Angelica. And she is of the frequency of the heart. And these sounds are just so powerful. You can really feel those lovely waves just washing over the body, okay? So I brought some lovely instruments just to show you the difference between them and the different frequencies, okay? She's just lovely. I called her Angelica. I don't know why. But we've got some lovely singing bowls here. These actually like to be played with this instrument rather than the other. And each one of them, I'm just going to move Angelica, I've got different tones. Hope you like my sparkly top, yeah? Put it on especially for you. So that is some of the crystal singing bowls and some of the different tones, and they correlate to the chakras and the chakra system. I had these imported from America. These are absolutely beautiful, yeah? And I've got 15 of these lovely sound healing pipes, and each one of these is related to the human organs. So this one is 492.8 hertz. And this is the adrenals. So you're probably aware that the adrenals is what we, when we go into fear, flight and fright, or when we suffer with stress or anxiety, which is why I chose to bring this one. And plus it's one of the smaller ones. And they play the most beautiful tones, they really do. And then what I've done today is I've brought you some lovely tuning forks in, you see. So the tuning forks, I've got 9 of them, and they're the solfeggio frequencies. So the first one is 174. Let me play it with this. Don't know if you can hear this. 174 helps you manage pain. Okay, so it helps to relax the body. It's the lowest of the solfeggio frequencies. It's known as the healing frequency. It enhances concentration, helps release stress, it helps with migraines, back pains, knees, joint pain. It helps you to be courageous. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful frequency. Then we've got 285 hertz, which is about how you survive. Your roots connected to your root chakra. It promotes healing. It helps you restructure damaged organs. It helps to rejuvenate the mind, the body, and the soul. It energizes, and it helps bring the body back to a balanced state, and it helps to boost the immune system. So that's 285. I've got to stop them before they go on the table, otherwise it'll be like, yeah. So we've got 396, which is about releasing fear and guilt. That's known as the frequency of liberation and transformation. So it's said to help release negative energy, promotes emotional, physical health, it helps you to let go of stress, helps provide, like get rid of the negative energy, like fear, doubt, grief. It helps to manage that. So yeah, it's another, well, this also helps boost the immune system was the last one, okay. So this is 396. I've picked up the wrong one. And this one helps to turn grief into joy. It helps you ground, it helps cleansing. It's really helpful for people who are experiencing loss or suffering with grief, fear or guilt. Yeah? These sound therapies are so underrated. That's why I wanted to talk to you about them today. And just even listening to them when you're in your bed, when you're asleep, you know, playing them to the subconscious is a pretty powerful thing as well, you know. This one's 417. Again, this is about releasing negativity, past trauma. Helps to clear that negative energy out of the body. It helps dissolve mental blockages. It activates the sacral chakra. It creates the energy to bring about change, and it cleanses traumatic experiences. Clears negativity and facilitates positive change. Okay. And I'm beginning to do a lot of sound healing with my clients. It's just totally amazing. 528 hertz. You can hear that the frequencies get higher and higher. It's known for clarity and peace, for DNA healing through toning and meditation. This one's known as the love frequency, and it's connected, or it resonates with that lovely heart chakra. It helps you to raise your vibration, attract positivity, and to manifest and attract love if you're looking for love. So this is a frequency for you. It helps to reduce stress and anxiety. It helps to improve sleep quality and produce those feelings of calm and relaxation, and increases awareness. In ancient cultures, this frequency was used to manifest miracles. That's lovely. 528. 639 frequency is about healing interpersonal relationships, healing the relationship with yourself and healing the relationship with others. So again, that's what's through the love frequency. It's about attracting that love, positivity, and helping communicate. It's helping you communicate better with yourself and helping communication within relationships by harnessing that empathy. So empathy is feeling. Okay, an empath is somebody who feels other people's feelings and emotions, so it helps you to be compassionate towards others. Again, this helps you to release negativity, negative emotions, to cultivate I can't speak tonight. Yeah, I need to put my teeth back in. Yeah, it helps to cultivate a more positive and balanced emotional state. And it's the frequency related to open and oneness in human relationships. Again, it helps you if you've got friction or problems within a relationship, helps to bring that balance back into the relationship, okay? It's a frequency filled with love, radiance, and positive energy. How lovely is that? And then we've got 741. So you'll notice that as we go through the frequencies, some of them, there's a lot of like interconnections between them, you know. So that one, 528, there's love. 639, there's love, relationships. And 741 is about problem solving. It's about improving that emotional stability and detoxifying. So again, that connects into frequency and relationships, okay? 852 is the next one, and that's about promoting relaxation, calming the mind, and reducing stress levels. Oh my goodness, we so need this lovely frequency. It boosts the mood, helps with mental health, boosts and rebalances your third eye, helps you connect with your intuition. It's an amazing frequency for those that are suffering with anxiety and lack of confidence. That is 852. Okay, 963. I think they say that that's the God frequency, actually, 963. So this is about creating oneness and unity, and where you get your visions and thoughts, creating harmony between you and yourself and the universe, and it awakens the intuition. It activates the pineal gland, it opens the crown, it helps to remove any mental fog and bring clarity to our thoughts. As the frequency of the divine, it's fantastic when meditating, and it is our gateway to higher consciousness, which leads to that deep internal peace. Okay, so I've got 60 seconds to go now, folks. Yeah, but just to leave you with a lovely note, let's leave you with a lovely Angelica. So I hope you have a wonderful week. advice, guidance, you can find me on TikTok under Wendy McCallum Medium. I'm just opening up an Etsy shop so I could do 1-question readings. You'll find me there. 2-question readings, pendulum readings, mediumship, Zoom, whatever you want. Yeah, you'll find me on Etsy under Wendy McCallum Medium, and I'm divineintuition.co.uk. So I will leave you with that beautiful heart-centered frequency, and I will speak to you all next week. Take care. God bless. Have a fantastic week.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio. You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul Tea with Marie, with Antoinette Marie. Antoinette Marie. Live from AntoinetteMarie.net.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul Tea with Marie
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, welcome to Soul Tea with Marie. I have a special guest. She was on probably about a month or two ago, and she will be on again tonight. But I just want to let everyone know that always, if you want to do any readings with me, to go to AntoinetteMarie.net, or also you can reach me at Instagram at Soul Tea with Marie, or on Facebook as well. I don't use Facebook as much, but Instagram I do. So any intuitive readings that you would like, any mediumship readings, if there's any loved ones that you would like to talk to on the other side, or if you like to meet your guides or angels, I can help you with that. But let's get started and let's introduce Leslie. Leslie, how are you?
Oh, wonderful and fabulous. How are you?
Good. So you were on the show before because you wrote a book about twin flames.
That one.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So this time, I know you're in the middle of writing a new book, and I would love to discuss that book. And I know that has to do a little bit with your twin flame. Where to begin on that? So let's start with this. What is the book about?
Well, it started off as a book about the Akashic Records, and I didn't vibe with it. And thanks to my friend Antoinette, I was kind of kicking around some ideas, and I came across my notebook of my happy little world. I've talked about this world in so many different ways, in so many different times. I've done guided meditations, I've done short courses, but I've never actually just kind of put it all out there. So this world is on the plains in between this side and that side, and it's called Arkin.
So just to explain to the listeners, so it's a world that is not on Earth, and it's not also on the other side. It's almost like if you were to have an NDE, you would go to this plane of existence. You're not quite fully over, you're here. And and you called it Arcane?
Arkin, yeah.
Arkin.
It's so funny. Like I super long story about how I learned the name, but I remember my master guide because I had asked, what's this place called? Because I started visiting it after I met my twin flame, who's on the other side. And I was like, what's this place called? Does it have a name? And my master guide, Roman, was like, yeah, Arkin. And I was like, major or minor? Like, what are you talking about? So, and that's honestly how I got the name. I didn't even know it before that moment, but I had been coming there always. I just didn't have it in my consciousness until that moment.
So when you say you've been coming there, what does that mean exactly?
Well, when we're talking about the higher side, really all it takes is an elevated vibration. So if you're sleeping, meditating, or like you said, if you have an NDE, if you temporarily step out of your physicality for a moment, that doesn't put you on the other side, it puts you on the higher side. You have to go a little bit farther to get to the other side.
So almost like astral traveling, unless you have an NDE, would it be like that?
Yeah, almost like that. And so this happy little plane of existence between Earth and the other side is the plane we're talking about. So it's kind of like the white stuff in the middle of an Oreo. That's how I explain it sometimes, okay? And so this is where, when you raise your vibration, you can go to. And it just so happens that whenever I do this, Spirit will lower their vibration and meet me in the middle. In the middle, for me, is Arkin. So I go there to see and learn from and like my dad has a house there. And but that is our, up until quite recently, it's been our private little space that I would take people to, even though they didn't know it, I would do it. But, I would just take them and be like, okay, so you're here, and there's a beautiful field of yellow flowers, and just kind of start everybody off there, and they had no idea that that's what it was.
I see. So when is the first time that you actually went there?
Consciously, when I knew it when I woke up, June 6, 2006.
And what was the experience exactly? Were you asleep? Were you meditating?
Yes, I was asleep. And it was a place that when I got there, I was like, wow, this looks familiar to me. But in that moment, that was when Chico kind of broke all of my boundaries and broke through, and we ended up having our first sort of conversation. It wasn't really a conversation, it was like 3 words. But we, I ended up just catching a glimpse of this place, and I was like, what is this? But it's so familiar to me. What is it? And the more I would meet with him, the more I would discover that, wait a minute, it's not just a field, and the field's not only yellow, there's other stuff going on here. And I originally thought it was just because I was wakening up, like I was like waking it up, and my conscious brain was like getting clued into all of this stuff, which is partly true. It was partly true. My conscious brain was getting clued in. I just didn't have an understanding that it was actually a real place and not my imagination running wild.
So when you say Chico, you are talking about your twin flame, correct?
Yeah.
And he has already passed over.
Yeah. It'll actually be 30 years in October since he passed away. And I didn't know him when he was here on the side. I didn't meet him or anything like that. And so when I first encountered him, and I wrote about that whole experience in the book, but I was kind of like, ooh, who are you and what do you want? And he probably could have said, take me to your leader, and I would have been like, but he didn't say that. But I was clueless at first, and of course, resisted every step of the way. And but he just kind of took my hand and waited for me to be ready, take the next step, and
then that is when he showed you Arcan.
Yeah.
And then you said awaken. When you say awaken, you're talking about spiritual awakening, correct?
Yeah, I'm talking about that because my brain, my actual soul has been going there since it was created, and it's millennia old. In this lifetime, I started going there when I was a young child, but I didn't know that that's where I was going. It was kind of like, you dream about a field of yellow flowers and you're having like a little house in the prairie experience, You're not thinking that it's an actual place. And so when I finally got clued in, my conscious brain got clued into, what was really going on, I was kind of like, wow. So then I had to learn everything I could possibly learn about this place.
And what is this place? Describe it, because I know we had talked before that you've done readings for people or you've talked to people, and they've actually described this in between city world, even down to like the logo, we'll say, and you thought it was only you and your imagination, though you knew it wasn't your imagination, you knew it was something more, but now you've come to realize that other people go there. So what is it?
Well, originally I thought it was just literally a field of yellow flowers, but actually it's its own little world. It starts with the field of yellow flowers, but it's an island bordered by 4 different oceans. There's actually beach on one end, cliffs on the other, and then on either side there's different kinds of wood. And it's its own. I know it sounds like I'm lost in kind of like a fantasy novel, and sometimes it feels like that. But in this world contains the energy and vibration of myself, my twin flame, everyone that we've encountered there, and it also has like a educational vibe. So like at the core of it, at the heart of Arcan, we're actually learning and evolving on a soul level. So every time someone visits there, even if they don't really know what's going on, they're actually learning and growing, which is great.
So what are you learning there when you visit, and how often do you visit?
Oh my gosh, pretty much. Well, what am I learning there? It depends on what I set my intention for. Like it's anything from I want to just chill in the field under the tree and chat with Chico and be like, dude, what happened to you today? Or it could be I need to learn about this particular principle, and everything I've read online is messing with my head. So I'm going to go to my angel school, and I'm going to learn from those in the on the other side of the higher vibration, like angels, guides, masters. I'm going to ask them these questions, which is how I learned about twin flames, by the way. I went
What do
to
you
this
mean?
happy little school.
Really?
Yeah, I said, okay, I'm confused. What is this? Online Google is crap. So tell me what it is, you know? And I remember going to this building and be like, oh, baby, what is this? And I walked in and there's Archangel Gabriel. I said, okay, well, you're the one I need to ask my question to, apparently. Because I just learned about you and you're like really good at this communication stuff. So answer this question for me and explain it to me like I'm four. And that's how I learned about twin flames. And it was funny. He grabbed a deck of cards and used it to explain the concept of souls and evolution and twin flames. And it was I could do it, but sadly I don't have a deck of cards and it would take a while.
Wow. Wow. And you said that is Archangel Gabriel.
Yes.
Oh, that's intense. So when you say you go to angel school there, what do you mean by that?
Angel School is just a nickname. This building you step into this building and it's like a building of higher energy. So God, master, angel, even loved ones who are kind of vibing on that higher vibration, maybe like a guide or something like that, come into this building to educate people. Mostly me because, I'm in resistance and confusion a lot of times. So, and I literally, every time I close my eyes, every time I go to sleep, every time I'm in meditation, I can walk into my bedroom and close the door and turn off the lights, and I'm there in Arkin. Like, it's just automatic now. So we're talking about a lot of time I spend there, which is crazy. I'm constantly asking questions and trying to understand, whatever confusion happens. It's like a daily thing. So and I also bring people there when I teach courses. I'm actually channeling that energy. I'm actually bringing you into that vibration with,
And who do you bring with you when you go to Arkan? And how do you bring them with you?
well, let's say we're doing a guided meditation, and I will ask you, hey, which part of Arkan are we going to? And my team will be like, okay, we're going to check this place out today. And so literally they will give me the information, in a channeled guided meditation. But there are three ways to get to Arkan. One is a white door. One is a fence into the field of yellow flowers. And then the other one's kind of my own special back door that I don't tell anybody. But I think you might know what it is. But and so I basically energetically open that door, or I had the person open the door. Like we did a guided meditation not that long ago, and I said, okay, you see that white door there? It's got a blue window. Whenever you're ready, open it. And you're there. No matter what meditation we're doing, no matter what vibration or intention that we've set previously, it starts with that blue door coming into Arkin, and then we go from there. No matter what it is.
And why would someone, I'm just curious, because if you're in a meditation, what would be the reason for them to want to go there?
Well, I don't actually tell people, hey, I'm taking you to my spiritual home. Hi, welcome. I don't actually tell them that unless I literally say, hey, we're doing a guided meditation to art. What I do is I use that energy and that knowledge and that learning vibration to help guide them through whatever course or whatever meditation I'm doing. Like the other night we did a intro to Atlantis, where everybody got to visit Atlantis. I took them to Arkin first, and just kind of utilize that energy to help them get acclimated to the higher vibration, and then took them to Atlantis. So, I don't remember. I channeled it. I have no idea. But that's just one example of, I don't know how many times I've done it. But I never say, oh, hey, let's go to Arkin, and I'm always surprised because afterwards, I'll ask for some kind of feedback if anybody wants to share. And inevitably, every single time, somebody will tell me something that they've experienced that I recognize as a part of Arkin. And I don't. It just means I did it right, It's a little bit
fascinating. So what do you think Arcan is? If when you go into meditation and you're going with other people in meditation and you're all going to the same place, what do you think it is?
I honestly think it's literally a higher vibration that sort of like at its core is healing and loving and learning. And, my twin flame and I have turned it into our own little world. But I think that's what the spark was originally. It was just that beautiful, healing, loving vibration, which is why whenever you go there, and I dare everybody to go, I dare you, set your intention and go. That's literally all it takes. I'm not even joking. Open the door with the blue handle. There you go. Come on in. We'll wait for you. But I think that was at its core at the beginning. The reason it was so easy for us to take and expand it into I call it my own little world, our own little world. I mean, there are beings that live there. There are loved ones. My dad has a house there. He sits by the lake and fishes, even though there's no fish in the lake. But, and it's interesting that, my people will actually meet my father at the lake. And the only reason they know he's my dad is because he looks just like me. I had a person come up. I did a meditation for someone, like a month ago now. And afterwards, she came up to me and was like, "Swear to God, I saw you. You were sitting by the lake, but you had a ball cap on. It was so weird because you had a beard." I was like, that was my dad. Like you met my dad. Did you have a conversation with him?
That is amazing. We are almost out of time. I just want to make sure everyone can visit you. She is on Instagram under
Leslie Sampson 333.
And you also have a website, which is
lesliesampson.com.
Yes. So you can find her book on Twin Flames there. And you can also find her new book. Well, not for quite a while. Because I think you're in the middle of actually writing that.
I am. I get to a point where I'm just like, and then I hit a roadblock. Because I'm sharing stuff I've never shared in its entirety before with anyone. And I mean, there are people who know bits and pieces, but no one knows the entire story. So I'll hit a roadblock and I'm just like, oh no, I have to talk about that. I've never talked about that ever. And so it's taking me a little bit longer, but eventually it'll be there.
Oh, no, you'll definitely write it. And I think you should. I think that your guides want you to get it out. We do have just a little bit more time. I want to ask you, because I found this interesting. You had said that you and your twin created this. And I have found that with twins, we are to create different worlds, different settings. Do you think that was part of your soul's journey with your twin to create a world and then have others come?
I think so. I do, because it's, with all the people I worked with in working with Twin Flames and then also doing the research and writing the book, I learned that most Twin Flames, when they come together, no matter how they come together, they have their own private space.
Right.
And, it goes from, having your own world on the other side or the higher side to having a favorite soda shop. So yeah, I think
it's amazing. It's amazing. And thank you, Leslie, for coming on the show. Namaste to you, and thank you everyone for listening, and we will see you again next week.
answers to any question. You'll love Suzanne Marie readings. Clairvoyant reader and spiritual light trance medium. Tarot is used for spirit confirmation. She's been a spiritual reader for 30 years and would love to be able to bring accurate, clear, visionary readings for those who seek answers. Available online and phone. Call 320-455-2303 or email readingsbysuzanne@gmail.com. Suzanne Marie. Check her event page for specials.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Larkin Psychic Medium with Larkin. Live from larkinsreadings.wixsite.com/website.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Larkin Psychic Reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Oh my gosh. This is going to be an amazing 15 minutes. Today, I want to talk about animals. And then next week, we're going to get back to taking more readings from callers, okay? I want to talk about animals because I have had so many questions coming in about how animals fit into all of this. How do animals fit into readings? How do they fit into, do they have souls? What happens when they cross over? How do we communicate with them? Do they get through to us the same way that our loved ones and angels and spirit guides do? And I've had so many questions pouring in. And so I wanted to take this time to just kind of summarize some of that for you guys, because so many of you love your animals and you have got fuzzy family members or scaly or feathery family members at home. And this is really important for you to know in order to help them and enjoy them more and enhance your bond, right? So first of all, I want to let you guys know I have updated my website name, and it is now larkinsreadings.com. So larkinsreadings.com. And I do actually have an animal interpreter page. And these are the types of things that we talk about. So let's start with the first basic thing. Number one, people always ask me, do animals have souls? Because, you know, a lot of times the churches tell us, no, they don't. Well, yeah, of course they do. Everything is energy. All energy is conscious. Animal souls are growing and evolving just like yours is. And so they may not have our prefrontal cortex, our intellect. They can't do mathematics. They can't design and build a house. They can't write a song, right? They don't have our opposable thumb. So there's things they can't do and build. They don't have our vocal cords. They don't have the shaped mouth that we do. So they can't actually speak and make language like we do. But guess what, guys? It doesn't mean they're not conscious of it. It doesn't mean they don't have emotions. It doesn't mean they're not aware. It doesn't mean they're not intuitive. It doesn't mean they don't have purpose. So animal souls actually come into this world with a purpose, just as important as yours or mine. It might be to meet another animal and to help that animal while it's struggling, or because those animal souls are connected. It might be an extension of a human energy and where it wants to come and actually support a human being. My uncle had a cat that reincarnated 4 times for him during his lifetime. And every time the new cat would find them and come into their home, it was exactly like the old cat. It had the exact same habits. It had the exact same name. It had the same preferences. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So, you know, we are taught to believe that they are less than us, that they are less intelligent than us, that they don't care and they don't have purpose and they're not sensitive, but they are. They have emotions like we do. They are, you know, they have intuition like you and I. But the thing is that non-human animals actually, they are more connected to their intuition than we are. They could predict the future better than we can. They can see and connect to other souls and energies that have crossed over better than we can. Because guess why? This great prefrontal cortex, this thinking device that we have, that also is our ego, that makes us so brilliant. Guess what else? It also limits us, right? As I shared on the pre-show party today, our prefrontal cortex, our ego, actually blocks us in so many ways, right? It's our egoic veil. It causes us to be jealous. It causes us to be angry. It causes us to have hurt feelings. And non-human animals are just totally pure, right? They may have had histories that cause them to be fearful or not trusting or not like a particular situation or type of person or animal. But they are what they are. They're not judgmental like we are. And they are really good at observing. So they can look at a situation and they can know long before you or I where the danger is, what the best way home will be, where to go, what to do, who's sick or hurt. If you come home and you've got a scratchy throat and a stuffed up nose and you think, it's a sinus infection. Well, guess what? Your dog or cat knows better. Your dog or cat can tell if you're sick and have a fever or if you just have allergies, right? But here's the problem. And this is one of the questions that's been pouring in for me, especially since I've started here on Psychic Air Radio. And that is that they can't tell us. So how do we communicate with them? And I'll tell you, I know for me personally, I'm a much better receiver from an animal than I am a sender, right? I am still trying to learn, how do I speak the animal's language to get them to do what I need them to do, or to understand what I need or want them to understand. but I'm a better receiver. So I can receive images from them and feelings from them and understand, okay, this is what they're going through, or they have a pain there. And most of us tend to learn to do the receiving first, but some of you are just more natural senders. Okay. But I want to make sure I answer this question for all of you tonight, because so many people come to me and they're like, well, they want an animal reading. But here's the problem. As human beings, what they want to know is they want to know what they want to know about the animal. They want to know how to get the animal to do or understand what they want. And what I want to share with you all this evening is, if you really want to receive that information and you want to have a better relationship or solve a problem or have a deeper connection and understanding with your non-human animal, then guess what? You have to do some of the things that you as a human don't want to do. You have to actually let go of your judgments and your assumptions and still this. And be still and be peaceful inside like they are, because an animal's mind isn't always going like yours is. It's still, it's peaceful. So when you learn to be still inside and you learn to be quiet and you stop telling them and trying to get them to do what you want them to do, or anxious to figure out what you want to know from them, guess what? It gives them space. You're holding space for that animal to really present who they are to you. Because here's something I want to offer all of you tonight, is the opportunity to put yourself in your animal's shoes. I want you all to imagine, like I shared on the pre-party, I want you to imagine that you were living with a different species who was taking care of you, who didn't speak your language, who didn't really understand you, who kind of guessed about your wants and needs, who knew what it meant to keep you alive. But every time you try to express yourself, your feelings, your wants, your needs, your frustrations, they misunderstood you. I'm sure most of you know what that feels like with other human beings. It's so frustrating. Maybe your spouse just doesn't get you. They don't understand you. Or you have a loved one that crossed over and you wanted to tell them something and you really think that they passed from this world and didn't understand what you wanted to share. Well, guess what? This is how your non-human animal companions feel most of the time, every day of their lives. They love you, but they're very, very, very patient with us. They're dependent on us, and they wait their entire lives for us to understand them, right? So think about it. They can't write. We don't speak their language, but they understand more of our language than we understand of theirs. They feel our emotions. They can read our thoughts. They know our intentions, and yet they try so hard to respond. And they're just patient. They're waiting for us, right? They have to abide by our rules. And so, the next time you're trying to connect or communicate with an animal, think about this. Consider the fact that for that connection to really be made, you're going to have to let go of some of the control. You're going to have to let go of some of what you want from them, what you want them to do. If they are behaving in a funny way, and you're saying to yourself, oh, I hear people do this all the time. Oh, he's mad. He's angry. No, he's probably just frustrated and being patient, waiting for you to realize that he or she is trying to communicate with you. Okay. I could go on for hours about any of these topics with animals, but I want to just kind of give you guys a basic summary so that next week, if any of you callers want to ask about animals or have an animal reading or communicate with an animal that has crossed over, you can call in with your questions. Okay. And you can also, connect with me on larkinsreadings.com and my Larkin Animal Interpreter page or Psychic Medium page on Facebook. We talk about all this stuff, guys. But next week, I'll be taking live calls. And if you want to include your questions to be about animals, you can do that. We love to take those questions. I only have about 90 seconds left on here. So I want to leave you with a couple more things. Your animals when they cross over the rainbow bridge, they can still feel and hear and see you just like the human beings can. Okay. Do they go to heaven? Yes, absolutely. When you cross over, are you going to see your past animals on the other side? Yes, because just like us, they have a spirit body and a soul, and they're growing and they're evolving, and they love you and they are there for you. So if you're thinking about your animal and you're missing them and you're tearing up, guess what? They know that. They can see you and feel you, because we on this side, it's so hard for us to sense the energy side, the non-physical. But non-physical knows everything about us, and they're still right there loving us. And my friends, this includes your animals. We've only got about 30 seconds left, so I want to say one last thing. When your animals cross over, guys, they want you to use that space they have left to bring another animal into your life. So please don't feel that just because you lose an animal, it doesn't mean you can't bring another one in. We don't find animals, they find us. And they have agreed and come with our souls into our lives with a purpose. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you again next Thursday. And don't forget that I'll be here. Bye, everyone.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Maria Leggett's Medium Show with Maria Leggett. Maria Leggett. Live from MariaLeggett.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Maria Leggett's Medium Show
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Reverend Maria Leggett, and I am so excited to be on here with you guys. This is one of my favorite highlights of the entire week, that I get to pop on here and share beautiful messages with the people who call in. It is truly an honor for me to do the work that I do. It is such a blessing, and it is not something that I ever thought that I would be able to do. So I'm glad to be able to step into this. One of the things that I love to do the most is I love to teach people how to work with their intuition. And so if you are interested in learning how to work with your own intuition, I have a free course. It is a free coaching session, and I do it on the first Tuesday of the month. And it's called Practicing Your Intuition. So if you'd like to sign up for Practicing Your Intuition, you can go to templeofthesacredcircle.org. And that is my online temple where we practice stuff. And of course, you can find that information on my website, which is marialeggett.com. And excuse me, I do that on Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's about the same time as the show. It's about 45 minutes earlier. So if you can watch the show, you have plenty of time to be able to hop in and join me in the class and learn how to use your intuition. And because it's a free course, I run it like a webinar. And so what I do is I invite one person to come in live with me on the video feed, and we start to work with your signs and symbols so that you can begin to understand how your spirit team is working with you every single day. We tend to forget that we have people who want to work with us. We have this team on the other side, who are helping us all the time. And it's a way for you to begin to understand some of the things that they're trying to speak with you, especially when you have questions about what's going on with my job, what's going on with my home life, what's going on with my children. Am I, what purpose am I serving here on the earth? This is a really good way for you to begin working with your signs and symbols so that you know what to do. Like one of my favorite signs and symbols is a sun. And when I see the sun, I know that means it's time for me to start receiving some clarity on a situation. Now, the sun could mean different things to different people. And knowing what this is, you want to look at, what does the sun mean to you? When I say the word sun, does it mean warmth? Does it mean clarity? Does it mean happiness? What does it mean to you? So I would be honored to take our call from Tunisia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Did I pronounce it correctly?
I think you did. Tunisia?
Yes. Yay! How may I help
it's not
you
an
this
easy one.
evening?
Thank you. Mostly, kind of like you were talking about, like direction in life. I've had some career changes. I've had a lot of deaths in my family. I'm just turning now 52, so life changes. And mostly just some reassurance that I do have some guidance, and how do I maybe connect with that guidance more?
Absolutely. Listen, you're my age. I'm 54. So we have so much life that's left in us. And Spirit is showing it to me. I'm going to take my glasses off here for a minute. So Spirit is showing me that it's like things before now have been like, you've walked through life, you've done the things, and things have been kind of blurry, and you're not really sure, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And Spirit is showing it to me as though right now is a time for you really to begin changing the path, right? And I'm stepping into a new career, something that's really important to me, something that I want to do. They show it to me as though you've spent a lot of your life kind of just doing what was expected. Does that make sense?
Yes, or what I expected of myself, thinking that's what I should be doing, but I hated it.
Yes. Yes. And they're showing it to me as that now is a time for you to kind of literally reevaluate things. And that means even if you job hop for a little while, because they're showing me like different positions with shorter stints than what you're used to, but being okay with that, knowing I am testing the waters to see, what do I like? What do I want to enjoy? Because I've spent so much time doing what I expected of myself, or following what my college career path said I was supposed to do, that now I'm open, and it's time for you to begin the shift and the change. They're talking to me about it's wind. Why are you showing me wind? So it's like I'm sitting in a room where there shouldn't be wind, or I shouldn't feel a cool breeze, and it's like all of a sudden I can feel this breeze come over me, like just shift past me, and I kind of get the chills. And Spirit says this is how you know when we're around you. We're there because you're feeling that energy. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And so they want you to know this is how often we're around you. We are there every day. And all you have to do is say, okay, what do I need to know? And boom, the first thing that you hear in your head, that's going to be them answering. What follows that, trying to excuse what you heard, that's your ego.
Okay.
Because oftentimes, we have these conversations with ourselves, and we think it's with ourselves, and it's really not. It's you could call it your higher self, you can call it spirit, whatever you're comfortable with. And it's being able to listen to what they're having to say without finding an excuse for, oh, I must be crazy, it must be this. No, they're there with you all the time, and they want to help you to get more comfortable working through things. And even as I say that, I feel like my face is getting really hot, and I feel like I'm starting to have a hot flash. And Spirit is showing me that this sense of change in the body is some stuff that's happening, right? If my body can change, why can't I change everything else? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And They're showing me, I don't know if you own an oracle deck, but they're showing me for you to go out and get an oracle deck that you're comfortable with, because you're going to be able to ask, what do I need to know today? Shuffle the cards, pull one, and look at it. What does it say? And more so than what it says, start looking on the card. What is on that card, and what do you first see? If you see a white dove on the card, what does that white dove mean to you? What is important for you to know about that? For if I were to see a white doves to me mean the beauty of spirit. It's that connection to the other side, because that's one of the signs that's in the Bible, right? It's this beautiful dove, and it's a representation of the Holy Spirit. And that's the connection to the other side. So recognizing that they're going to speak to you through oracle cards. Do you have a deck?
I have several. I've got the Osho Zen. I've got the Mermaid. I've got several.
Yes. Yes. Start pulling one every single day so that they can start using those cards to talk to you and give you the information that you're looking for. And they're showing it to me that it's not going to be so important to look at the guidebook, because, you know, so many of us want to get stuck in the guidebook. I have to read it. It has to match. But to be
What does
able to
that
look at the
mean?
card, yeah, and being able to trust yourself, right? Trust your intuition, trust what you're getting, so that you can continue walking that path that makes you happy and that you're comfortable with. And I don't know how you understand this, but they're talking to me and saying that you're really comfortable with spiritual energy. So if you had never thought of it before, that a spiritual career is really good for you. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm so analytical. I talk myself out of it, but I think I do have abilities. I have difficulty developing them or trusting them.
So we are all born with the abilities to talk to spirit. It is not something that you're born with or you're not. It's not like that at all. We all have the ability. Like, I didn't do this when I was younger. This was something that I had to work at, and I had to learn what my signs and symbols are. I had to practice all of this stuff. So it's why I love teaching it. And if you're open to it, I would love to see you in my Practicing Your Intuition class. That's a free class. It's on the first Tuesday. And you can find it on my website, marialeggett.com, or on Temple of the Sacred Circle, which is my online temple. And we also have a paid class that's on the second Tuesday to teach you how to begin working with your symbols and delving down into different tools to start working with that. And the reason why I giggled about you have this very analytical brain is because so did I. So I was in the corporate world, and I was in printing for 30 years. And when I left my job to do this full time, I was writing crystal reports. I was working in software. So I was in that IT world, which is very left brain thinking, which is not anything that you would think somebody like this would do. And
I was laboratory and medical, very, very logical.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And spirit doesn't exist. It has to be scientific. Prove it. 2 + 2 = 4. Here's 2 apples. Here's 2 oranges. Well, how many pieces of fruit do we have? Yeah. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can train yourself to start letting go of your ego and saying, hey, I'm ready to step into this. And in that first Developing Your Intuition class, we're going to meet one of our spirit guides. We're going to learn how to let go of our ego and what it feels like when our ego answers us, because your ego doesn't have to be there for mediumship or being able to talk with spirit communication. Your ego is there to help keep you safe during the day, absolutely, but it has no place in being able to have a conversation with spirit. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and they're showing me that you're really ready. And one of the other things to you, along with learning spirit communication, is energy healing, like working with your hands, learning how to send energy, learning how to receive energy, and how your body feels these things. And it may be contradictory to your training, but it's also what you're ready to step forward into, because you're now recognizing there's something so much more than just this. There's a whole other world out there that we can't see, and you are really ready to step in and embrace that. So if you're ready to take classes and learn the things, you could absolutely do your own spiritual business, and you can do it on the side, right? As a part-time thing that fills your cup and makes you happy. Does that make sense?
Right. It does. It does. That would be, it's almost like I still have to prove it to myself. I still have to have it, You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough because that self-doubt and that analytical and that confusion and the naysayers and the haters, you know, they
Yes.
just get to me
Totally
so easy.
understand.
And I'm like, I'm just
Totally
crazy. That's
understand.
all. I'm just crazy. I'm just
You're
weird.
not
I'm just
crazy.
traumatized. I'm just
No,
oversensitive.
you are not crazy. You are, if it helps you make you feel any better, that was me 7 years ago. So I'm right with you. Thank you so much, Tunisia, for being on here. I am so grateful to have had this time to be able to speak with you. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who watched. I am so grateful. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Understanding Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. I'm your host, Mary. While I'm waiting for a caller, I will just, dive into a little bit of educational stuff for anybody who is wanting to develop their abilities. Today, I just wanted to start with kind of building a sort of a bit of a firm understanding of some of the kind of rules around psychic mediumship and what you sort of should and shouldn't do. So I guess the first one, I've got a few notes here for myself, but the first one is unsolicited readings. Many times people will give a reading and somebody might be fearful of something like that, or they're not ready to hear messages from spirits. So always keep that in mind, even if you're, like you're practicing, or even if you feel like you've got the hang of it, always ask for permission first. And I guess the other thing too is don't ever read about somebody else. so always only for the person you're reading for or speaking with, if they've given you permission. So always keep that in mind. Okay, I do have a caller. I've got Tina from Ohio. Hi, Tina.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How can I help you today?
I was trying to find out if I can have a reading.
Yes, of course you can. What kind of reading would you like?
Just a general reading.
A general? Okay. All right, just give me a sec and I will just tune into you. I'll just get a card for you. Tina, have you been sort of moving towards a more spiritual path? Are you having more of an awakening along that line?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm seeing that it's like it comes to you and then it kind of retreats and then it comes to you and it kind of retreats, and it feels a little bit like that, a bit of backwards and forwards. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm being told by Spirit to celebrate even like the fact that you've identified this as taking place, because I feel like in your past there have been a lot of difficulties where you wouldn't have been so connected and open to getting messages or sort of connecting with your intuition. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And I keep hearing for you, help is on its way. It's coming through in it's not an actual song, but they're using a song, and they're just putting those lyrics. And I feel like this has to do with money going forward. Does that make sense for you?
Not really.
Okay. All right. I'm also being told, I'll see if the money comes up again. I'm also being told that life hasn't always been easy for you, but Spirit is saying for you to just stay kind of calm and stay in grace, because I feel like you're being helped along. Along in your life, and also in your path. Do you have is there a male figure in your life? I keep wanting to call him like an alpha male.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm also being shown that this man can be quite controlling, like with everything, really, not just with you. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm hearing for you that you are going to be fine, but I'm also hearing mum's here to help. Is your mum in spirit or is she here?
She's deceased.
Okay. do you talk to her about your situations regarding this man?
No, not really. No other things.
Yeah. Okay, because Spirit are pushing for you to have a more open communication with her regarding any problems and situations coming up with that. All right, because I feel like you can trust her, and I feel like you need to speak to her about this. Do you know if she has gone through similar scenarios in her life? Because I feel like she has.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't know if it's like her father.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
No, it's my stepfather.
Your stepfather? Okay. I'll just see. Tina, there's an old man in spirit around who's coming through. I just want to see if he's for you. He's showing me that he was very frail when he passed, and he's showing me that he's coughing. I'm not sure if he had cancer around in the lungs or the chest. Is coming through like a grandfather type figure or father type figure. Do you recognize this spirit?
Not an old man, but a young man.
How old?
He would be 28.
Yeah, no, this man, he's not 28. Did you know your grandfather?
Yeah, on my mother's side.
But not on your dad's?
He would, excuse me?
Did you know your grandfather on your dad's side?
I knew him, but I never was around him.
Okay, all right. Do you know if he
My
passed?
my father couldn't breathe real well. He had a
Okay.
COPD and he had a pacemaker.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because this spirit, he's saying to me that everything was an effort for him before he passed.
Yeah.
Okay. He's saying to me that you want to know everything and you need to know everything now, but he's saying that things can only be given to you at a slower pace, and I feel that this has to do with how much you can accept and at any given time. I feel like you're going through a lot and you can only sort of like in small kind of doses. Does that make sense for you in your life?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. He's telling me that he's sending you a lot of healing. All right, and he's wanting you to just like kind of stay calm, stay centered. He wants you to know that you have a lot of loved ones in spirit that are helping you along, because he's showing me like you are just trying to be calm on the inside, but on the outside, like the energy and the environment around you is kind of strained, a bit ominous. You're not really knowing how things are going to go. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay, so he's sending you healing to try to keep you sort of calm. Is this male, are you in a relationship with him?
No.
Okay. Who, may I ask
I
you
have
who he...
just
Sorry, Tina, I can't hear you. This spirit is just saying for you to just like stay calm, stay centered. You are getting healing. You are being helped to just tune in to your intuition. All right, and I do see you moving forward. All right, but you've just got to kind of just put one foot in front of the other. All right, it's just going to be a slower process for you than maybe you would like. Okay, I've just got a few seconds left. I hope this has helped you today. Just know you're being guided, and you're also being guided on your spiritual journey as well. So just keep tuning in with that.
okay. Thank you.
All right, no worries, Tina. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from PsychicPaths.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Psychic Paths
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I am your host for a little bit. I am Suzanne Marie, and I'm a clairvoyant and a light trance medium. I am available for private sessions if you contact me through my Facebook page or my website, www.psychicpaths. So welcome, and I hope we get a really good caller tonight. We are looking at a full moon in Leo coming up, I believe the 29th. And I just heard something so awesome. The full moon connects you to your inner intuition and connects you with your soul's wisdom. Isn't that wonderful? Just the sound of that. Leo will give you the courage and the energy to succeed in your projects and to focus on what you need to do to benefit you. All of these full moons are to benefit you. They allow us to let go of the things that aren't necessary and not benefiting us in our life. So with that, I'm excited. So and another thing is, let's be kind to one another and let's love one another as best we can. We are all walking each other home. And we have Lisa from Oklahoma. Hello.
Well, hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm actually really wonderful tonight. Thank you.
Good, good. What can I help with tonight?
Well, how about we just go general and let Spirit bring what needs to come?
Okay. Hang on and let me see what Spirit shows me. It's kind of showing me that right now you do have a very beneficial period going on. And you're soaking it up. That something has brought peace to you somehow. Also, it does show me that you have a lot of energy going on. I don't know if it's around you or inside of you, but I just feel a lot of energy from you. Let's see. Is there something that always just seems to be chasing you or catching up to you? Something that repeats itself? Because that's also what they're showing me.
Repeated
That
patterns?
yes, yes.
I don't do them anymore, but it makes sense to a point. But no, they no longer affect me.
It's almost like something keeps calling you back to a certain focus. So if that happens, just know that that's for processing and going through whatever emotions and thinking you need to do, and then just let it go. I feel like if it's not going on now, it will. And of course, the full moon is coming, so you never know what pops up with those. Um, Spirit told me that I just might be mistaken on what I saw. For the first thing, um, I thought it was very peaceful. But are you happen to be having something that just feels burdensome or overwhelming? Because I do
Oh,
still see the,
yeah.
I still see
Since
it.
COVID started, since COVID started, yeah, you could say that it's been a little overwhelming.
I'm sorry I missed that. I just seen what I saw and went with it. Um, have you been sick?
No, just
Okay, good, good.
repercussions from the whole event of the pandemic.
Oh, absolutely. Hasn't that been a change? It literally changed all our lives and how we do
Well,
things.
that and it really got us pretty good.
Um, I just feel like you're a very strong lady. Um, you must have some good signs in your birth chart that give you strength, because I just feel like you're an overcomer. You're a person that knows what you want. Um, everything good. I just feel everything good. And I feel like when things do feel overwhelming or there's a problem, you're just one of those people that get it took care of. And you have resources within yourself to do that.
I do.
You know, I wish you would come up with a question, because you're somewhat of a female warrior, when it comes to life.
All
You
right.
know, if
How
I
about a
see a
question as
problem,
in, yeah,
I'm sorry,
how
go
about,
ahead.
I said, how about a question? Let's do, we have a different job opportunity in front of us
Okay.
and which direction to go.
I don't feel like that is going to come to reputation. And I think it's you. I think it's your decision.
Okay.
I don't. I. You don't know these things until they happen, but it feels like that's not the right one. That's not the right fit. And I don't know from now until when they're hiring or when you start if something happens, but there's a change. There's a change in direction.
Okay.
And I feel like you're going to be doing the same thing. It's just not with them. Are you good at organizational skills?
Myself, yeah.
I see that's part of your career, being
It has
organized.
been. It has been.
Okay. Kudos to you. I don't have any of that, but I see that you're very good at it, and it comes easily. Um, Even if you're not doing organizational stuff like you used to, you have the mind to do that. Everything has its place, and every place has its, thing. So kudos to that. Let me see what Spirit says. I got a little more time. Um, I feel like the things that you are focusing on now are going to work themselves through. And Spirit just wants you to know that you do have the resources coming to you and inside of you to take care of what you'll be needing to focus on and work on. Um, you just going right to the path that you're supposed to. You're being internally guided. You listen to your intuition and your mind, and Spirit just wants to say that everything will work out for you.
Good.
I don't know how much faith you have, but um, it just you just really are internally guided.
Oh, I am.
I just feel
I'm a
like
little
everything
higher on
is
the
going to work
spiritual.
out.
I'm a little higher on the spiritual side.
I feel like you're going to be okay, for the long run. And opportunity, this opportunity would have been okay, but I feel like right now you want to have things where things are comfortable to you. You don't want uncomfortable. You don't want to be unauthentic. You don't want to be rushed. There are certain things that this job entails, and I feel like you're going to get a good job, and you're going to like it, and it fits you. But I don't think it's the one that you were thinking of. Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
And yeah, so I hope
All at a
that,
time.
I hope that I have been some sort of help tonight. And sometimes
You're
these
okay.
psychic readings, you won't know until they happen, and it's like, well, that's kind of out there. But yeah, I just hope that you keep up the good faith, you keep up your good warrior self, and just know that everything will work out.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You have yourself a good night.
I am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. Okay, everyone. Well, everyone have a good night and a good week, and I'll see you here next week, same time. Bye.
Amazingly accurate, clear answers to any question. You'll love Suzanne Marie readings. Clairvoyant reader and spiritual light trance medium. Tarot is used for spirit confirmation. She's been a spiritual reader for 30 years and would love to be able to bring accurate, clear, visionary readings for those who seek answers. Available online and phone. Call 320-455-2303 or email readingsbysuzanne@gmail.com. Suzanne Marie. Check her event page for specials.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you are all well out there as you are listening to the show tonight. So last weekend, I dove and took the big leap and did my very first metaphysical fair on Saturday. It was a local fair in Portland, Oregon, and it was fantastic. It was great energy. There were lots of people there. And even some of you listening tonight, I know, came out to see me this evening. So I want to say thank you for coming out and supporting me during that time. I had a marvelous time, and I think that I will do it again. So I have another fair coming up in Astoria, Oregon on October 21st. So if you are in the area, do come out and say hello to me. It was great seeing all the new faces and some of the old faces that I have known for some time. So do come out and see me there. And also, if you are looking to do some serious healing in your life and you are ready to expand and ready to shift and change, join Melinda and I in Bonnyville, Canada, October 14th and 15th as we do a retreat up there. It's going to be magical and wonderful. I have all the information over on my website. You can find it there at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. It's going to be fantastic, and I hope that you will join us for this magical, changing weekend. You won't regret it. So today I was laughing because we've all had this instance. You are thinking about something and you go into the kitchen and you're going to grab something and you walk in and you go, oh, why am I here? What was I going to do? I had that experience with a coworker today. He walked in through the threshold of the door and stood there and stopped. And I said, forgetting why you're here? And which led us into this whole conversation about, forgetting things and saying, oh my gosh, what was I doing? Why am I here? We've all had that. And believe it or not, this is a real thing. And there's actually a name for it. And it's called the doorway effect. I'm serious. Look it up. It is a real thing. Our brains are going and going and going like a computer, and we are processing things and we're on the way to do something. And so our brain says, yes, we are on the way, we are going to do it, so I can drop that thought and I can move on to something else and think about it. And then you walk through the doorway, you walk through that threshold, and you think, I have no idea what I was going to do why am I here? We've all done that. And it's so maddening. And our brains are thinking so quickly and processing things so quickly that one thing drops and another thing starts processing. So a good way to think about that is if you forget what it is that you are doing, go back to the point of origin, to ground, and go, oh, I remember now. So you know this works because you've done it yourself. Okay, I'm going to go back to where I was because I'm going to remember what that was. And it works. An article that I was reading today was saying that the gentleman does great thinking in the shower, which I'm one of those people too. I come up with all kinds of wonderful, awesome ideas when I'm taking my shower. And you get out of the shower and you start doing your thing. You think, what was that I had such a great idea about? So he said he actually goes back into the shower, fully clothed, with his notebook to take down the notes. He goes back to the point of origin and records what it was that he, all the great thoughts that he had, all of the magical moments that he had. I thought, I'm going to try that. And hopefully my husband won't turn the water on when I'm standing fully clothed in the shower with my notebook. But I thought that was actually a really brilliant idea, just to get back and go back to that point of origin to say, what was it that I thought about when I was in the shower? Or what was it when I passed through the threshold of the kitchen doorway and now I can't remember what it was and why I'm in here? Go back to that point of origin, or backtrack with your thoughts. Okay, wait a minute. I was thinking about this. I was talking about that. And sometimes that will be enough to jog that memory, that computer processor in your brain to say, oh, that's right. That's what I was thinking about. I'm going back into the kitchen to get the keys on the counter so I can leave. So when you're having those issues and you forget about why you entered a room or why you were starting to go do something, go back to your point of origin, or think about some of the things that you were thinking about during that time. It really helps, and it really jogs that memory, gets that computer back into gear and thinking about all of that. So try it. It works. And I'm actually going to try the shower thing because I forget. I step out of the shower and I start thinking about my day and what's going to go on. And I'm like, oh, what was that wonderful idea that I was thinking about? I've completely forgot what it was, going in with my notebook and taking some notes. So I thought it was quite interesting that there is actually a name for this, again, that is called the doorway effect. And it's basically when you pass through that threshold, you pass through that doorway. That's a lot of times when you forget what you were doing. So try it out. Try those techniques. Let me know how they work for you. All right, we are going to go to the phone lines. We have Margaret in South Australia. Good evening, Margaret, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Good evening, and thank you.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
Look, just very quickly overall, my health and how things are proceeding, my finance.
Okay. So you're looking for something specific about your health. Is that correct?
Well, yes, just overall, if my health is good.
Okay. Can you repeat that last part again, Margaret?
It's in regards to my health, wanting to know how I'm overall. I've had a few ups and downs, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Let me tune in and see what is coming through for you. And there's going to be a little moment of silence as I do that, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Margaret. So yeah, they're showing me that yes, you've definitely had some kind of ups and downs. Um, it doesn't feel like they're not indicating to me that there's anything serious with
Good.
what's going
Thank you.
on with you.
Oh no, I just have checkups and things that I need to do annually. Just wanting to know.
Um, they're showing me that you need to um, do some things for yourself, like some self-care, carving out some
Yes.
time for you,
Yes.
because you're kind of running around taking care of everybody else and kind of pushing your own needs aside.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
being able to recognize that so that you don't get sick, right? Because it's like they're showing me you're
That's
kind of
right.
on that ragged edge a little bit. And
Well, yeah, there's been a lot going on. Finance. I'm hoping to sell my property. I've got a property and I want to sell it. However, the economy and things like that. Yeah.
yeah. So they're saying, yes,
And that,
most definitely you should sell the property. That's going to give you a little bit of breathing room is what they're saying.
my question is, will it sell? Because I'm in the process of putting it, well, it's on the market, but will it sell? Will I get the money that I want?
They're saying if you do it within reason. I hear the
Yeah.
words don't get greedy.
Yep.
So if it's within that reasonable amount, you will be able to sell it.
Okay.
One thing I'm being shown is that you can do very easily with your guides is to ask them to go in and cut all of the cords and ties that you or family members have with that property so that it can be so basically it's releasing all of that into the universe to show that, hey, I am ready to let this go. We are ready to let this go. And we are calling in that person who is wanting this piece of property that would be in their best and highest good. And we're asking them to come forth and do that now. So just asking your guides to cut the cords and the ties so that all of that can be released and it'll sell a little easier.
Well, I did that. I did that a couple of months ago.
Okay. Okay.
But I'll do it again. I'll tune into my guides and I'll do it the way you've explained.
Yeah, they're saying it just needs like a tiny little bit more scrubbing is what they're saying to me.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Overall, then my health is good. My property will sell, and that for me is a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just saying, keep it in perspective, right?
Yes.
Keep it in perspective.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm being shown they say you know what you're doing. Okay. So don't doubt it.
No, I know what I'm doing. I'm very well prepared.
Yeah. Follow your gut, follow your guidance, because you that's not going to that isn't going to ever steer you wrong. And so that's the one thing that you do very well. And so they're saying just continue to follow that.
Wonderful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, they're also saying don't get too stubborn or too stuck on a price. And if someone comes to you with an additional offer, try to work with them. Try to get them to the price that you want, but don't be so stuck that you have to have this particular price. And that process will go a lot easier for you.
Okay, that's great. Can I ask you, I know timing is not very good, but would it be this year or next year?
It's kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't see it selling real quickly, but I don't see it taking like a year or 2 years. It's kind of somewhere in between.
Oh my God. Sounds like a long time to me.
Well, no, like what I'm saying is it's not going to take that long. So somewhere around 6 months, maybe.
Okay. So in the new year.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe it feels like March. March keeps popping up into my head. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's your spring or if that's your fall.
That's our spring.
Okay.
That's our autumn. Fall. We call it autumn here, but Americans call it fall.
Okay.
We're just going into spring now. We're heading for a very, very warm summer. But that's obviously fall is March.
Okay. So
That sounds good.
Yeah. So I think, summer will be coming to a close and people will be getting back into, work life, school life, right? And then they're going to be looking for those types of things,
Well,
right?
this is not just this is not residential. Mine is commercial, so it's quite big.
Yeah, but they're showing me it's the same kind of concept, right? Um, people look at the summer and they're looking for holiday and they're looking for time off and their focus is completely somewhere else, right? So yeah, they're looking like it's going to be in that time of year, that time frame.
No, that's good. That's okay. That's okay with me. There's been a lot of preparation because it's a commercial property. It's not residential, and we're coming into Christmas, and things slow down in Australia during Christmas.
Right. I'm getting that it'll be before that.
Before Christmas?
Yeah, it'll be before that, before things start slowing down.
Well, we're in
wait a minute.
December.
Wait, that's December. No, we're still in March. Sorry. my fall and your fall and spring, it's all messed up. So I'm just going to stick with March. We're going to go with that.
Okay. Great. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Look, all I wanted to know is how my health is going. I've had some ups and downs. I know I have to slow down, which I'm doing. and more working on myself. And selling this property will change my life
Yes.
for the better.
Yes. It's going to be a
It will
big
free
sigh
me,
of relief.
free me.
Yeah.
Yes, because the property, in fact, you're absolutely correct. I did have it cleared. However, it's an inheritance, and therefore there were ties. There are ties to it. My mother, my brother, and I'm trying to get out of the ties with my brother.
Yes.
I've gone through a court. He's taken me to court, so he's still not, not signing and not, finishing off things. He's still dragging things through. Very difficult.
Yeah. He feels like he doesn't have it feels like he doesn't have a say, or that's how his perspective is. Like his power is being taken away somehow.
Can I ask you, are we on a live show where people can hear everything?
We are.
Oh, okay. Then I can't say very much. No, I don't. Yeah.
I
No,
understand.
No, this person has got a lot of power, unless things have changed a bit. Not
Right.
sure. Just want to move away from this person.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I get that. There's gonna be just a little bit of a struggle left with this one. It's gonna be a little tough, but eventually it's going to resolve itself and work itself out.
Good. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with this evening?
No, the struggles with my health has all been due to a family member, and the struggles with the finances all combined together. And selling the property is a way of releasing myself from all energies, all people, and moving forward to more stability.
Sounds like you've got your work cut out for you.
Yes, thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate this.
You're very so welcome. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Oh, well, it's only 12 o'clock here in Australia, in South Australia, so we're here during the day. So thank you very, very much.
That's right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, next we have Gigi in New York. Good evening, Gigi, and welcome to your time to shine.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for calling in. What can I help you with this evening?
So, again, I just want a general reading just to see what the spirit guides have to say for me.
Okay, perfect. Give me just a couple minutes here as I tune in, and there's be a little bit of silence, and then I'll be right back with you, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, Gigi. So I have this song Zippity Doo Dah going through my head, and seeing somebody skipping and being playful and having fun. It's like what they're showing me is kind of like your outlook on life, that you've got this this playfulness about you, and like a spring in your step, that you've had to overcome some big challenges and you feel like, wow, okay, maybe we're finally through that. And now I can sing and dance and relax a little bit and rejoice in all that's been going on. Um, they're showing me that there's been a lot of um, bumps in the road and challenges that you've had to overcome, and you've come through um, with this beaming light about you. And they're wanting you to know and recognize what you've gone through and what you've done and how you've come out on the other side. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, thank
Um, you're a very humble person. So actually just hearing this kind of makes you go, ooh, I don't know. Doesn't that, yeah, okay, that's great, but let's just keep moving on. So they're really wanting you, they're really wanting, it's like I'm feeling uneasy in my skin. I'm like, okay, well, yep, that's great. Let's move on. So, but they really want you to recognize what you've done and what you've accomplished. And to take that for a moment and savor it, because you don't do that very often. Um, actually pat yourself on the back a little bit.
Okay. Thank you.
I keep hearing new job, new prospect. Are you looking at something? Are you looking at changing or shifting jobs?
Possibly moving.
Possibly moving. Okay. Which brings the new job.
Yes.
They're saying that this is going to be a good shift for you. So if you're questioning it or you're doubting it, it's going to be a good thing for you.
Yeah, thank you.
They're showing me that you're feeling like you're being held back a little bit. And so they're just saying, kind of look into that, dive deeper into why it is you're truly, truly holding back. Because they said that those reasons may be more what I would call ego-based rather than heartfelt. So drop into your heart and think about what your heart would like, what would give you the most joy. And have that help you move through your decisions.
Okay.
Does that make sense for you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because right now you're struggling between your head and your heart. And your heart isn't ever going to prove you wrong.
Okay.
That's a hard concept for you too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I understand that. But they're saying just sit with that and think about it from your heart's perspective and ask yourself what would make your heart sing. Okay? Because I feel like there is a lot of opportunity, not only just with the job, but with the move itself. And it could be the perfect thing that you're needing right now. Okay?
Okay.
And we are coming down to the last few seconds of our show, Gigi. So I have to say goodnight, but I want to thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much for my reading. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Have a great
wonderful
night.
to talk to you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you too. Thank you so much.
You too. Well, that does it for me, everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Do head over to my website. I am booking readings into late October at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com, or you can reach me on my Facebook pages, Julie Yeager Walker Medium, or Your Time to Shine. Have a wonderful night, everyone. We'll see you again next Thursday.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDSpsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Astrology and Psychic Reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm your host for this segment, Lady D. I hope that you've all had an exciting and wonderful week that's been. So what's coming up with the week ahead, we do have a lot of angles that are coming up here with the planets. So we do have, and we're gearing up for this big full moon that will be happening next week, next Friday. So when we come back next week, we'll be talking about the full moon that's going to be in Aries. But this week, as positives, so what we do have happening all week, we have Venus tri Chiron. So Chiron's our emotional pain. I always feel like it's our emotional pain. Venus is love and money, and this could be a try. So the planets are working together, and this could be that we get some sort of a healing from something that has happened. So there could be a positive thing with that to do with relationships or looking at money. We still have Venus in Leo, so definitely something should be coming up in terms of even our ego, maybe feeling better, finding the courage. If we're a person that's not very confident, you might find that you feel a bit more of a courage or passion for life as well. And then we've also got coming up here, we do have a square with Venus and Uranus, so this can bring about unexpected surprises that with money or love. So that could be something that happens, and I feel like so that was also happening part of this week, end of this week too. So just be aware of that. But we've got to try all week with Mercury and Jupiter. This might feel you more confident in your communication, be more positive. We've got Jupiter's how we think, it's how we communicate, and it is in Virgo. And then we've got Jupiter, which is in Taurus. So we've got one in a house of health and wanting things to be particular and perfect. Jupiter's in the house of Taurus, which can be about our finances, our security, too. So even wanting to be comfortable. So you could be feeling more confident in your communication, or hearing some sort of positive communication might be coming through. Could be an aspect with money there. Could be also be an aspect. It could be a health thing, because Virgo does rule the 6th house, which is the house of health. But some positive stuff coming up. We also have a positive aspect with Uranus and Pluto, so unexpected change. This could also be a positive transit that's coming up through the week. Now we do have today, and today it may be in effect tomorrow. We do have Chiron opposite Mars, so you might find that you're feeling a little bit annoyed or a little bit aggravated about an issue that's been causing you a lot of anguish the past week. I know for me, I'm missing my cat. One of my cats have gone missing. So for me this week, I've been trying to find my cat. So that maybe today I might be feeling a bit more frustrated in terms of that. I know I am feeling a bit frustrated for that, because I'm alive. She's somewhere, but I do want her back. So we also got on the 25th, we have Mercury, which is going to be trining Uranus. This could be unexpected news coming in. And again, this could be a very positive aspect. When we're looking at tries, we are looking at the planets working well together. And then on the 27th, we got Venus, which is going to be trying the nodes. So this here also is a positive aspect. This could be a life lesson, and it's a positive life lesson that's coming up with that. And on the 28th, we've got Mercury, which is going to be in trine with Pluto. Positive, again, it's about change. You might have gone through a big change in someone that you're talking to or how you communicate. This is also a positive thing. This could be it could be an ending, but if it is an ending, it'd be a positive ending in communication with someone, or even having negative thoughts. Perhaps now you're you've gone through a transformation where now you're thinking very positive thoughts. So we've got that too. I feel like coming up this week, it's also going to be basing, I feel like, on trust and having wisdom. And it's like I feel like there's going to be like a thing of wisdom that's coming up, and trusting what you see and what you feel is coming up. There could be a sense of restlessness, or like you can't sleep. There's also, I feel like people are really craving and wanting change to happen around them. People wanting like new things coming in their life. There could be a sense of having to fight sadness. So you don't want to be sad. You are trying to look at positive things and trying to be positive as well. There could be a sense of freedom coming up with all these tries that are coming up this week too. Perhaps wanting even more out of society, out of where we are living and people. It could be a week where we also want to help others too. And it could even be setting up more shocks to find out more things with so many trines with Mercury and Venus. Definitely some shocks and things coming up this week too. And people, people will want maybe control their lives, take control of their lives as well. But also when things come up this week, probably a good thing to also breathe, just to breathe things out. And people wanting peace as well. And wanting people just wanting peace. Let's go to the caller. So we've got here Katerina, who's in Virginia in America. So hi, Katrina. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Hi, how can I help you today?
I was hoping that I could do a medium reading.
Yeah, is there anyone particular you want me to try and connect to?
I do. We recently lost someone, and it was kind of unexpected. When just trying to see what kind of clarity I can get from him.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Was this person sometimes a little bit late with things?
Was he
Were they
what?
not punctual sometimes? Well, sometimes were they not punctual?
No, he was always early on time.
Always on time? Okay. Just
Mhm.
I do see a man around you. You just said sorry, I'm late. So sometimes when I do that, it can mean that when they're here, that they might be a little bit late for something. But I also see him on. It's like he's got crutches. So it's like he's sort of like he's not able to walk freely to me or coming in. He sort of needs a bit of assistance in walking in. I don't feel like he was like old, so I don't see this man as being old. I do feel like that he was um, quite fit. 'Cause I'm seeing him work out, and I just feel like he looks young to me. This man that I've got with me. Okay. I do feel like he's part of your family. He's telling me that he's family. Is your brother that's passed over?
Not not. He was like a brother, but not my brother.
Okay, because he was
That makes sense.
saying brother, but he was like your brother. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
and I feel like also this man, he liked the challenge because he's telling me he liked the challenge. But he was he was very fit. Because I'm seeing someone who's very fit.
He wasn't in bad shape. He didn't work out
Yes.
or
So
anything, but he wasn't in bad shape.
yeah. So yeah, like I'm not seeing someone who's like overweight. It's he's in he's in the he's a healthy frame. Um,
Mhm.
but I do see him as if you're like working out or um he's trying to run. And did he also have did he have problems with mobility problems, or he wasn't able to walk, or was he just injured?
No, he didn't really have, any problems walking other
Okay.
than,
So
our regular wear and tear as we get older.
Okay. All right. Let me just see where we go from here. Um, okay. I might look. I might not be the person that you want to hear from. It could be someone else. So just keep your mind open to someone else that could be around you as well. Because I have a feeling this person, because he's still talking to me about the time, so I feel like this person may not have been always on time. The person that I have with you. So it is possible to have two people with me as well. Sometimes they do blend in as one, but also this person too. I just I feel like they were competitive. I do feel like they would like going to see different like sporting events, like games, and I feel like I'm eating like the hot dog, and I'm at like some sort of like game, watching some sort of like sporting event too, because I do feel like he's cheering on a team as well. I also feel like that there's a dog with this person in spirit as well, and I do feel like he likes his dog that's with him too. Um, and I feel like he's good looking. I feel like the man that I can see, I do feel like he's quite charming or quite good looking as well. I do feel like he had a nice smile too. Can you relate to any of this?
Some of it.
Okay.
Some of it I can relate to that being somebody different though.
That's okay. Like I said, sometimes it's not who you want to come through. I can try and bring through the person that you want. If I know their name, I can try and bring them in. Um, but the moment I have this person who's come through, as I said, sometimes they can come in together as well. This person is let's see if I can get a message from this person for you. Um, okay. He is with someone else on the other side, and he is saying that the other person, they are there, and he is comforting the other person too. It is a big shock for them as well that they've passed over. He's always saying for you as well. He just wants you to keep your head up, remain confident, keep your head up. He's saying to me to remain confident, head up high, and to keep going, keep walking. You are going to receive signs from the person who did pass away, because he's telling me you're going to see signs. I feel like within 3 days. He's saying about 3, 2. Also, this man, he loves his. I feel like he loves his children. He's a very loving man. I feel like he didn't have like a bad bone in his body. I don't feel like he would hurt anyone. He just love comes through as very like a loving man. I do see him hugging children, hugging family. Like family is very important to this person as well. That I do see too. And he just wants you to. He's like this man's like pushing you along to keep going, but keep your head held high as well.
Okay.
Okay. I'll leave it there, but thank you for calling in today, and I hope that I've helped you, and I'm sorry for your loss.
All right. Thank you.
It's okay. If you want to contact me, you can. You can contact me from on my website, which is Lady D Psychic Parties, and my Facebook is Lady D Psychic Parties as well. My YouTube is Lady D or Danielle Psychic, and my Instagram and TikTok is Lady DS Psychic. So I want to say thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. So bye for now.
And welcome to Psychic Pass. And I'm here for a little bit, and I hope we get a really good caller. I am a clairvoyant and a light trance medium, which means that I speak to past loved ones. You can contact me through my Facebook page or my website, both Psychic Pass. So, welcome, yes. And it's a new full moon tonight, and it's in Leo, which is really, really nice. I feel like this is a time for optimism and exploring what makes us happy and being able to open up our hearts and connecting with our inner child, being able to be playful. I have Leo in my house of friends, so I'm a really pro Leo person. But a new moon usually means that we can let go of what doesn't benefit us anymore and we can go on and change what we need to change within ourselves to become better people, which is always good. There are some affirmations. Oh, Nicole from St. Cloud, Minnesota. What?
Hello.
Well, hello, neighbor. How are you?